following is a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about them Cowboys?
This is Talkin' Cowboys. Streaming live from the Dallas Cowboys World Headquarters at the Star in Frisco.
Handoff, Elliott plowing to the goal line. Barry, sacked by Lawrence. Prescott keeps it, and he bangs it in for the touchdown.
And now your hosts, Isaiah Stanback, Heckma Harrison, Rob Phillips, and Kyle Yeomans.
It's a Say It With Your Chest Friday here on Talking Cowboys.
Let's go.
Presented by Tostitos, the official chip and dip of the Dallas Cowboys, as we are live from the SWBC Mortgage Studios at the Star in Frisco. My goodness, it feels good to be back. It is good to be back. We've got plenty going on here over the next 40 minutes or so. Heckma Harrison. We've got Isaiah Stanback, of course, Rob Phillips, looking dapper as always here on this Friday. I'm Kyle Yeomans, and gentlemen, we're going to bring the mojo today. You know that? We always bring the mojo.
Yeah, baby.
But we're going to bring the mojo a little bit more, Austin Powers.
Yeah.
However, last night, and Mike McCarthy mentioned this morning on the Fan, but the dojo was left behind, and that's don't jump off sides. The dojo on a little Thursday night football in the NFC East, as well. The New York Giants gave that football game away, didn't they?
They tend to do that.
I fell asleep.
Did you not watch it?
I was watching it.
You didn't watch the end of it?
I fell asleep.
You're the oldest young guy I know.
I'm the lighthouse guy. Like that lighthouse. I don't know if it's gonna happen. Heck, I mean, we'll see. So
I'm the lighthouse guy.
They threw the game away.
Pretty much, yeah. I mean, Washington botched a field goal attempt, and then there was offsides called. They got another chance at it, and he knocked it through to win it.
Man.
Yeah. After the Giants were up by more than a touchdown with like 2:45 left on the clock.
Did you see Washington's Twitter account?
No, I didn't. Was it savage?
They did a GIF from Deal or No Deal. Open up the suitcase.
Was it an L?
Yeah, and then the guy, the contestant with the Giants logo on his face, very disappointed. That was genius.
Unpack that L.
Yeah.
But yeah, so
Not
Washington comes out on top on Thursday Night Football over the Giants 30-29. Really what was a very sloppily played football game, which I think is that's a win for the Cowboys overall. It's the fact of how sloppy it was beginning to end. But at the same time, the Cowboys have some more stuff going on in their own right as well. As we get into the weekend, I want to talk about Randy Gregory really quickly. Where is the update status where he's at right now, and the protocol of COVID-19, and should he be able to play coming up on Sunday?
Mike actually addressed it on the Fan this morning. He said he's still in protocol. If he's not able to practice by Saturday, because today's that kind of rest regeneration day for the Cowboys. If he's not practicing Saturday before their trip to LA, then he will not play in the game. And I would not count on it. You know, Zach Martin said last week, he was asked, was there any chance you were going to play coming off the COVID stuff? And he was like, no. So, I mean, every case is different, but I think they're preparing not to play with Randy on Sunday.
Yeah, and the fact of the matter is if he has to either be testing negative twice, right, in a 48-hour span, or is it a 24-hour span?
24 hours apart. Tests.
24 apart. Okay.
Yeah.
And then asymptomatic as well. So
for 48 hours if he is experiencing symptoms. Yes.
So, right now it looks like Randy Gregory is going to be right up on the window, and it doesn't look like he'll play. So the Cowboys certainly look like they need to have a backup plan in terms of the pass rusher spot. And we talked about it yesterday. There's a mass amount of guys that are going to be there. But is this the biggest area of concern, Isaiah, going into the Chargers matchup? Or are there other areas of concern outside of the edge rusher spot that you have your mind on?
Right tackle.
It is right tackle still?
Right tackle, hands down. We have other guys. Now, understand, they're not Randy Gregory. They're not DeMarcus Lawrence. I don't want everybody coming after me. However, I said it on one of the other shows, I don't believe that we were going to have a great opportunity to get back and get Justin Herbert anyways. I don't think that he was going to sit back there and allow for our defensive ends to have a shot at sacking him or strip sacking him, whatever you want to call it. So I don't think. I mean, now in the rushing game, I think that we will miss their presence in that form. But I think of Bradley and I think of Dorrance Armstrong, I think of Terrell Basham. I think those guys will be able to come in and give the effort right, that we've grown to expect from Gregory and Lawrence. The effort will be there. What impact will they have on the running game? We'll see. I believe that we were going to have to blitz to get pressure anyways, but this is a West Coast style offense. The ball is coming out hot. So just like we did not get into TB12 last week, that's what I would expect to really go into. That's be my expectation going into this game as well. But in terms of the right tackle position, I'm worried there because of just the dogs that they have on the opposing side, but also what we have to do and what we have to take away from our offense in order to make sure we account for that. So the opportunity cost is what I'm really concerned about.
Well, obviously the organization isn't worried about it because they hadn't made any changes. They hadn't gone out and gotten it. They hadn't done anything hasty at all. So they trust their depth at the position. And I, for one, want to see how this plays out. But I think, how do you mitigate this, right? You want to go by committee with the guys that you just named. But I think you do it by getting pressure in the middle. And I think if you don't allow Justin Herbert to step up in the pocket, then I think all of those things on the outside start happening for you. Okay. And I think that's where Tank maybe has suffered in the past because we just have not had that pressure in the front. I mean, last year, and I know we don't like to go back to last year, but it was horrid. We were not getting any pressure at all in the middle of our defense. And so I'm just hoping, I don't know if they're going to bring Hamilton up from the practice squad, but I know we need to beef it up in the middle and just make sure that they do not establish the run in this game. This is important. I know we're going to talk about Justin Herbert and his weapons and what he can do, but every team against us, they want to establish the run first. And I think, Austin Eckler is going to be a massive part of what the Chargers want to do.
Yeah, for sure. One quick update on Tank. He did have surgery yesterday. That actually will help probably speed up the healing process because they put a screw or pin or whatever they do in there. So I would think, sometime after the bye, he'll be able to come back if everything goes well. So that's good. To your point, Heck, they've got a couple defensive ends on the practice squad. Breeland Speaks is a vet. He's one of those guys. Maybe they elevate him on Saturday. Sprinkle might be the other guy at tight end once again because they've only got 2 tight ends on the active roster. But yeah, I'm interested to see what they do. I'm with you guys. I mean, I think right tackle with this particular matchup, it's a really tough matchup, no question about that. I'm curious to see what they do to manufacture pressure. I mean, obviously, if it's no Gregory too, then it's going to be Basham and Dorrance Armstrong, and then what's Micah Parsons' role look like? I know reporters were trying to get Mike McCarthy to tip his hand yesterday, and he didn't do that, obviously. But they drafted Micah in part because of his ability to be a pressure player. I went back and watched the game. He had about a dozen rushes, either blitzing or lining up at the left or right edge. So I know fans are excited about what he can do in that regard. I don't think he's going to line up for 40 snaps on the right or left edge, but I think he can help them in that category. And Dan Quinn's probably going to have to get a little creative to try to help without both of his top guys there.
I think that's really where it boils down to is, sure, the personnel's not going to be there, but you got to find a way to have success. And Dan Quinn, I think a lot of the pressure falls on his shoulders again this week because if he doesn't perform, then you're going to be at a tough time, and Justin Herbert's going to pick you apart, even as a second-year guy. But kind of going along those same lines, Dak Prescott yesterday spoke to the media, and I really like one of the stories that was put up on DallasCowboys.com. Was this Hellman that wrote this?
On Dak?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, because it wasn't on he didn't have a title card or anything. But it says, basically the story is about how you can't afford to dwell on the past. And Dak Prescott spoke at length about this yesterday. The last thing you can dwell on is what happened. I've learned personally, and I think it's what the team learned last year. He went on to talk about how you were still alive despite all the injuries down to week 17 of the final week of the regular season last year, and you still had a chance to go to the playoffs because of the division and because of the scenario. Right now, you kind of got to look at it again and say, wow, all of this is happening. We're going through 2020 again, but Heckma, why is there a bit more positivity? Is it because we're just in week 2, or is that still a point of concern as well?
Now, I just think it's the maturity of your team. They recognize that injuries are a part of this league. You're going to have guys. I mean, even you look at Kansas City last year, they lost offensive linemen, cornerbacks, and they still weathered the storm. I mean, in any franchise or that's gone and had any success, they've gotten there without their core guys. We're just going to have to learn how to live with that. And nobody's going to cry for us. You know, that's a good point. Nobody's going to cry for us. And there's not a pity committee waiting to say, oh, poor Cowboys. You know, we have got to look, next man up. You won't allow me to even put a feather in that hat. But at the same time, these guys are capable. And you got to see what your guys are capable of doing. The 2020 all by itself, I wish I could forget the whole year.
Men in Black, just Men in Black you.
Yes, please. Just blank my memory on that thing because it was horrible for this team. But I think it's a part of our maturity. And when you hear your leader and Dak Prescott say, look, we're not going to dwell on any of that. We're just going to go forward with what we have. I like hearing that.
Yeah, I mean, dwelling on it does nothing for you. I mean, acknowledging is everything, but dwelling does nothing. So, I mean, you know, him speaking to, you know, what was and what isn't. You know, I guess your question is, how do we feel? Why do we feel better this year? We have Dak.
Yes,
that's a great point.
That's number one.
It's pretty simple in that regard. We have Dak, and then we have Dan Quinn and some new guys that can make some plays on that side of the ball. So I think we feel better about our defense. Last year we were hopeful. This year we've seen it. Right, we had a whole preseason to see it, and now all of a sudden we've had one whole game to see it. So I think we feel better overall with our defense and our defense approach. And then there's a dude by the name of Dak Prescott that just happens to be back there,
throwing the football around.
Dak, Tyron Smith, Lyle Collins eventually
in 5 games.
Blake Jarwin. I mean, they are much healthier on offense. And I was talking to Hellman about this yesterday. Like we all think Tank's a really good player. Best player on the defense. He was saying, you know, it just kind of comes down to Dak regardless. I mean, they're going to go as far as he takes them. I kind of disagree. I mean, I think there's still, like Isaiah is saying, there's still optimism this defense can be better, and it needs to be better. You can't be in shootouts every single week. But it does come down to having your best, you know, at the key position, one of your best players, if not your best player, in Dak Prescott, giving you an opportunity to score 30-plus points every game. And they have that opportunity this particular week against this particular matchup, I think. But like you said about injuries, Terrell Basham said it yesterday, it's 100% injury rate in this league. And that reminded me, I don't know if you guys watch Deadliest Catch, but that's what they say about Deadliest Catch, too. It reminded me of that. Like, crab fishing is different than football, but it's kind of the same thing. That's the nature of this business.
Unavoidable.
How many of you guys on the bingo cards at home had crab fishing talked about on Talking Cowboys
today? I love that
today?
show.
It is a great show, actually. I love the point y'all brought up about the defense, because entering Sunday, you're most likely going to be missing 3 of your 4 starting defensive linemen. DeMarcus Lawrence, Randy Gregory. You already lost Neville Gallimore. He's out for an extended period of time. Carlos Watkins is looking around him and saying, "What is going on? Why? Like what? Why am I the Lone Ranger here?"
He's like Connor Williams was last year on the offensive line,
except on the defensive line. Exactly right. But you still, I don't know. To this point, you feel better now than you did a year ago if you were to have that same sort of faith. Yep. Why? Is it just Dan Quinn? No, because it's got to be more than that, right?
It is definitely more than that. I think our personnel is better, and I think that we match up against any team. Oh, don't let me.
No, you were going there. Keep going down the road.
Pull it back a little bit. Let me pull it back a little bit. All right. We have personnel to be competitive against any team. We have personnel to be competitive against any team. I was going to say something else. So on paper, right? We match up well, and I think they did that through the draft, right? Some of the acquisitions that we have, you know, with our linebacker position. Guess what? We have a rotation. I think that we can expect to see Jalen Smith and Van Der Esch substantially more this game. And guess what? Who are we going to get pressure with? Parsons, right? Jabril Cox. We have those guys that can add pressure from the outside. We could really go to a 3-4. We're not going to get into us changing schemes and all that, but we can do what we want to if we need to, right? We could be a 4-3, it could be a 3-4. We have the personnel for it. If we need to match up against big receivers, guess what? We have big DBs now, right? So we can approach the game differently every single week to match up and give us the best opportunity to win games. And I think, but because of that, that's why I think we feel good on that side of the ball.
You said you didn't want to get into it, but I want to get into it a little bit. We're not changing schemes. Yeah. But Dan Quinn had talked about it all preseason long that we are a hybrid defense. The Cowboys are a hybrid defense. It's not going to be a 4 down lineman look every single time. There's going to be 3 down linemen. You're going to see a couple drop back into coverage. You're going to see that mixed up. Do you expect let's say 3/4 of the plays this week to be a 3-4 look rather than the 4-3, just based off of the personnel that's available?
I would want to. If I was playing Madden, I would go 3-4. And the reason being is I'm not that concerned with their running game. I don't think that their offensive linemen are that dominant where they can just run our guys off the ball. I would much rather have 3 down linemen and have Van Der Esch and Jalen Smith shooting the gaps and have Neal and Parsons on the outside. That's not a bad freaking combination, right? And then we still have guys to match up. The other reason why I like a 3-4, it really allows for us to get into cover 3 relatively easy, right, with our 5 guys underneath. So we can drop out and we can play zone because these guys are going to be tight splits. They're going to be running a lot of quick out routes. They're going to be running a lot of corner routes, smash concepts, out corner routes. So a lot of their stuff comes from in tight. So guess what? If you have guys that can be off the ball and can jam those guys up and really muddy up their ability to get off the ball cleanly, then I think we have a great opportunity.
As a part of the front seven, how tough of a transition is that for an individual player, Heckma?
I mean, I think they practice every day on it. They don't play a variation of it. It's not that we play, maybe our base is 4-3, but in certain blitz packages or going nickel, they take a guy out, and that's a completely 3-4 hybrid look that they give you. And I agree with you on that because you look at the guys that you have that you're going to war with this weekend, you would think that they would play a little bit more 3-4 just to allow that mismatch with Micah Parsons on the outside. But look, it's going to come down to how pass coverage. You know, how can we get pressure on the quarterback, and how long can our guys hold? I think we feel good about Trayvon Diggs. I think we don't feel as good in some other positions, but I think the defensive line and manufacturing pressure through Quinn's defense can mitigate a lot of that.
One other thing to add about the secondary, and you're not going to like this.
Come on.
But Donovan Wilson didn't practice again yesterday. Not sure. I would say he's iffy for this game at this point with a groin injury. DeMonte Casey was limited yesterday with a thigh injury.
Oh, no.
And I think that's something to watch as well for this game, too.
But you know what? Even with
heck, Malik Hooker time is Malik Hooker season.
But even with that, I mean, to your point, Kyle, we still feel good. I mean, I do.
The depth this year is
essential. It's not like you have a number 1 and just like number 2. It's like, okay, guess what? Donovan Wilson, you're out. Okay, well, guess what?
Curse.
We got Curse. Curse played 40+ snaps last week.
I don't know if that's a good thing, though.
But I'm saying,
but you're right.
But
the
he played 40
from Wilson to whoever
he played
it was last year.
40+ snaps against the best team in NFL based off of last year. Cool.
And do you also think Neal could play this? I mean,
he could if he needed to go back there. But guess what? But Malik Hooker, guess what? We've been waiting to see him. They've been trying to. We haven't not allowed him to go out there simply because he can't. We've been just being smart about our approach. But sometimes you got to get thrown into the fire and say, guess what? Hey, Blair, you're a baller in this league, right? Go play.
You could say the exact same thing for the other guy who was inactive in the secondary last week, and that's Israel Mukuamu. You could say the exact same thing. Both guys who were inactive last week might find their way on the field this week. And Heckma, I will say you might have turned off Rob's Twitter notifications, but you can't hide from Rob Phillips updates.
I can.
You cannot hide from the updates.
Sorry.
All right.
A lot of bad news the last 10 days or so.
But it's not just you, and I think no, it's not. It's not just you.
The messenger.
The thing is, Rob, one of these days I'm going to get a notification that says Dallas Cowboys Super Bowl champ, and it's gonna reverse everything, dog. You'll be back in good graces then.
Yes, I love it. I love the positive thinking on a Friday. When we come back,
don't you say it?
Oh
Stop.
gosh, I don't even know what it is. We'll be right back on the other side of the break here on Talking Cowboys.
Thank you for stopping yourself.
Honey, big news. Gary, are you okay? Oh, I'm not Gary anymore. I'm Jackie Flash. What? See, I want the latest smartphone, but the best deals are only for new customers. So, to get a new customer deal, I changed my name to Jackie Flash.
Okay, but the best smartphone deals at AT&T are for everyone, new and existing customers.
That's huge. Then guess who's getting a deal?
Is it Jackie Flash?
Jackie Flash.
It's not complicated. At AT&T, our best smartphone deals are for everyone. Restrictions apply. Visit att.com for details.
New Dr. Pepper Zero Sugar. You deserve it.
I do deserve that.
You deserve decadent flavor without sugar. And a day at the beach without sand getting everywhere. And a relaxing bath that your children don't interrupt.
I deserve all that?
It's really just a visual metaphor for Dr. Pepper Zero Sugar. Everything you want, nothing you don't.
A visual metaphor on the radio. I do deserve that.
Dr. Pepper Zero Sugar. The Zero you deserve is finally here.
Before there was a draft, you could size up a cowboy by 3 simple factors: the crease in his hat, the bend of his brim, and his unbending attitude. A man Stetson didn't just protect him from what life threw at him, it projected a rugged, unstoppable spirit. Stetson hats are still American-made with pride right here in Texas. They're still the unofficial crown of all self-respecting cowboys, and Stetson is proud to be on the field with America's team. Find a retailer nearest you at stetson.com/cowboys.
There's nothing as unique as our eyes, which is why Essilor pioneers ways to make lenses as unique as you. Varilux for super sharp vision, Essential Blue for protection, and Crizal for freedom from glare. 3 cutting-edge solutions in a single unique lens. So whatever your needs, insist on Essilor. Visit your local Essilor experts and find the perfect lens for you. See more, do more, Essilor.
Back to Talking Cowboys.
No, you're in it. No, you're in it.
To win it.
Am I?
Yes.
Am I in it?
Yes,
In
you
it
are.
to win it.
In it to win it. And we're talking about the competition that is being thrown
You're in
around on the podcast right now. I don't want to be in it.
But you are.
Okay, I'm in it.
And Shannon Gross has.
We have to let him do his drop.
Yeah, let me get the read real quick. It's not Essilor this time. Don't worry. You got a little bit of time. It is a great people, great pay replay. You've heard that Jason Witten has joined the Caliber Collision team. If you want to join him to do great work with great people for great pay, apply now at jobs@caliber.com. That's jobs@caliber, CALIBER.com.
Well, you guys get ready to call them because all these other podcasts are going to have to figure out how to repair themselves after they collide into us because we're going to go ham on these boys when it comes to this competition. What you got, Heck?
You're unbelievable, man. You're the one guy here that owns a gym. You're going to be.
That means that y'all got access.
Is that what that means?
That's exactly what that means.
You live in.
We're gonna be like
before you bake it.
like average Joes. we're all gonna come in and get shaped up.
Hey, I got the uniform.
I'm not doing that. I couldn't believe that yesterday.
Taking on Globo Gym.
Heck, tell the people that don't know what happened yesterday.
So basically, yesterday, Isaiah goes upstairs and just starts a complete frenzy with talking about the podcast and some race.
That's my
in
favorite,
some
y'all.
kind of way, my name is brought up in this whole thing. And as far
It's all
as race,
Heckma's concerned about. It's his name being slung around.
And by the way, we have consent from Heckma's wife. She says she has the ice and the heat pads on deck.
That's
so
awesome.
she consented. Yeah, there you go. Go ahead.
First of all, my power of attorney has not been signed over to anybody.
I think you signed that already.
You might want to stop
As soon as
that.
she got that ring, she signed that.
What you talking about right now?
So I just want to say, at least she's supportive of
She does.
you.
She's
and
very
saying there's
supportive.
ice and a heating pad. My girlfriend said that once we lose, and she said, "Sorry,
Whoa.
babe." She said, "Once we lose, we're going to rename this show Walking Cowboys."
Wow.
Because
that's what your
the
girl
bet-
said?
Yeah, my girl
I haven't
said
even
that.
met her yet.
Yeah, it was pretty bad.
Wow. Tell her she
upset.
needs to have a conversation with me. 'Cause
Yeah.
That's unacceptable support.
Yeah, it's not ideal. So, but the bet is, at least at the moment, is fastest podcast. It's 5 podcasts all the way through. We're going to include every
P, you
podcast
in it.
so
What did
far.
your wife say?
P, you're in it.
Just don't get hurt.
She said don't get hurt?
Yeah, I mean we got enough budget with a kiddo.
Yeah.
You know?
My wife looked at me. She said, "Do they really think they can beat you?" I said, "That's what I said." They're crazy.
Now we see where
they're,
the support
they're crazy,
lies.
man.
Crazy, man. I like you. But you're crazy.
Crazy, man.
Hey, Kyle, I have faith, man.
I'm with Kyle. Let's just kind of slide under the radar here a little bit.
Yeah.
You know,
We're talking
Heck,
Cowboys.
same way. Isaiah's going to get us all in trouble. You know?
No, I have
You're
faith
the
in you
only
guys.
guy that can.
No, that is false. That is false. Heck, when they said that you can't beat Derek in anything, that's what they told you?
So I can't be the man in marbles, jacks, dominoes.
They say your hopscotch ain't right.
Hopscotch, dice. He
That's
could beat me.
disrespectful.
That's very disrespectful.
How'd you feel about that, Kyle? Tell us.
I felt
I mean, not Kyle, heck.
I felt disrespected. And Nate Newton said it. I mean, if it comes from Nate, I mean, come on. And I expect Jesse. Jesse is the
Jesse's
shade.
gonna talk,
He the shade captain.
Yeah.
You know, so as much as you try and like him, he's gonna do something to shade you. And I appreciate that. It's all good, Holly.
Nate did hurt Barry's feelings yesterday.
Oh, good.
Uh-oh.
He hurt his feelings yesterday because Barry was going off. We were getting ready to do a filming for something else, and Barry was going off about how he can beat me and how it's disrespectful that everybody's saying that he can't beat me. And Nate Dogg went to go dap him up. He said, "I'm sorry, man, but you can't beat us." He pulled the dap back. He didn't dab me. He was hurt. He's butt hurt by that.
Why don't we just pick the best?
They even asked Orlando on their show yesterday. They called in Orlando, and they asked Orlando how he felt about it.
What did he say?
Orlando, they just asked if I could run, and Orlando said, "Yeah, I could run straight."
Of course you can.
He said, "I can't change directions."
We need that. What were you going to say?
I just think, why don't the shows just pick one rep? Just one.
No, you cannot get out of it, Rob. You're not getting out of it.
Well, do you want to do this?
Well, right now,
Rob, you're going to write a heck of a story about this, Rob.
Yeah, I'll cover the event. How about that?
All right.
It'll be fun to talk about when we get to that point. But let's talk about it might be the bye week is kind of what it's going. Yeah, Isaiah's starting some stuff. All right, I want you guys all to give me a player to watch this week for the Cowboys and the Chargers. It could be offensive side of the ball, defensive side of the ball. I want one guy who's going to be the X factor in a Cowboys win or loss this week. I'm going to start with Heckma.
Well, I think Quinn Bohanna will be a guy that you have to circle because I believe, Big Bo. I think the guys in the middle have their work cut out for them. And if they can get pressure, and look, this isn't flashy or splashy, but at the same time, if these guys can manufacture pressure, I think that the game will change for the Chargers. And, Justin Herbert, he gets happy feet. He starts to pat the ball a little bit once you get pressure on him, and that's what you got to do.
I'll go with Dalton Schultz.
Oh.
And they, both tight ends are going to play, but we've talked about if it's Terrence Steele, whoever's at right tackle, probably going to need some help, some chip stuff, here and there. I think you could see him maybe do that, or Blake Jarwin, and be involved in that kind of intermediate passing game as well. I think that'll be important, especially if they need to get the ball out quick at times. So I'll go with Schultzy.
I want to go back before we go to Isaiah, back to Quentin Bohanna. He only saw 20 snaps last week. Do you expect that to go up even though the interior personnel hasn't necessarily changed a whole lot?
I think you got to ramp that up.
Okay.
I think you got to ramp it up. I mean, 20 snaps is not enough this week versus this offense. And I don't think it was enough last week with all the yards that you gave up.
Plug the hole.
Yeah.
All right.
Do you think they're going to have as deep a rotation this week, though? Well, maybe they have to. Maybe they have to because of the injuries. But I thought maybe the weather factored in the fact that so many guys had snaps.
Yeah.
I don't know if Bradley and I would have gotten 10 snaps in that game if it wasn't for the humidity.
Yeah, and I's probably going to see 10 again this week, right? 10 to 15. It's more than he got last year.
All hands on deck. So, yeah, I'm with you, Heck.
Isaiah?
I'm going with Freaky Zeke. 120 all-purpose yards and at least one tug.
Wow.
Yep, I said it.
So, the majority of those yards, are they going to come as a receiver or are they going to come as a running back?
I can't say that because, I want to say he'll have 70 on the ground and probably another 50 through screens. Reason being is that they got a dog in the middle. I'm not worried about the D line. I'm not worried about Bosa in that regard. The other dude at the second level, Murray, Jesus. Derwin James, Jesus. So I think that they're going to try to do the same thing that Tampa did and say you can't run, throw the ball, beat our guys. And I think that they're going to challenge us in that regard. And I believe that their Murray and Derwin James are complete animals and physical specimens, and I don't know if we can handle both of those guys when they're both on the second level. So their ability to come downhill and stop our run and mitigate our run, I think, is something that we have to be aware of. So I don't know if he goes ham on the ground, but I think that Kellen Moore, I don't think he's going to allow 2 games in a row without Zeke getting the ball.
How early do you see that starting? Do you think that's right off the jump? Do you think that's early in the first quarter that Zeke's going to start getting those run plays? And
I think we are going to force feed Zeke this game.
It doesn't sound
you know when you try to feed your kid into the you're like, I got stuff to do, so you're going to eat. So I think that's what we're going to do with Zeke. He's going to eat this time.
It's not even just the metaphors with you; it's the sound effects that are.
I watched a lot of Police Academy growing up.
Oh, okay, that makes
sense.
Can't
tell.
Yeah.
Citizens on patrol.
I'm going to say Anthony Brown is the X factor because if he has another game like he did on Thursday, it's going to be tough to get a win. I mean,
does he start?
Yeah, he'll start. In my opinion. He'll start. Nashawn Wright was back to a full participant yesterday. That's an update Rob didn't get us.
I did not. That's a good update.
Rob did update on that one. But yeah, Nashawn Wright was back after being a DNP on, what was it, Wednesday? Wednesday was
personal.
And my thing, Kyle, is you could pick your obvious stars on this team. They all have to show up. I'm just saying the guys that are going to make an impact immediately are going to be your interior guys. We didn't have any pass rush. We cannot be one of two teams that do not get a sack.
I agree.
We have to get pressure.
You also can't give up 152.1 average passer rating whenever targeted and 15 yards per catch like Anthony Brown.
So that has more to do with your rush? I mean, that's
it could be either way. You're just trying to argue, and I'm not here for it on a Friday.
He always gives me frat boy vibes on a Friday.
I'm not eating
frat boy Fridays.
Yeah, he does.
Frat boy Fridays. Did you just come up with something?
Nike T-shirt. This isn't Southern March or whatever it is.
Frat boy Fridays on Talking Cowboys.
I don't even know what that is.
I know you don't.
You're
I'm
just
not going to
upset
worry
that
about
you went 1-5 last week.
Okay.
And you
It's all good.
Was that the result?
Yeah, he went 1-5.
It's a marathon and not a sprint.
But you say you don't run.
And you too are the same in that category. It's all good. I love it.
Frat boy Fridays.
Frat boy Fridays.
Hashtag it, make a T-shirt.
Yes.
I love it.
Somebody print it right now.
Forget say it with your chest.
It's the website right now.
Oh man. Anything that we haven't hit throughout the week that we want to talk about heading into Saturday or Sunday? Anything at all?
I just want to say this game kind of reminds me of the Jesse Holley game. The Holley game.
Wow.
Against the 49ers. What was that, 10 years ago?
Mm-hmm.
And that was a 49ers team that wasn't really good yet, but they were coming up. And West Coast game, Cowboys were 0-1, had to do whatever it took to not go 0-2.
Even with some injuries as well. I believe they were pretty banged up going into that game too.
In the game, Romo with a punctured lung learned what a pneumothorax was that day. That's a
say that again?
It's a punctured lung, a pneumothorax.
All right.
Is that Tyrod Taylor?
Huh?
Never mind.
So it's going to be. I think it's going to be that kind of game where this is a team that's on the rise.
You can feel it,
and you can feel it. And we'll see what the crowd's like. I mean, there may be more Cowboy fans there than Charger fans.
And you know there will be because we own California. But at the same time, this is their first time back in their stadium.
Yep.
So it's going to be rocking. It's going to be rocking. The lights are going to be bright even though it's 3 o'clock. Man.
Special teams, we haven't addressed that much. We talked about the kicking, but our special teams sucked in week 1 in terms of our ability to
say
cover.
It with your chest.
Sucked.
But even
spray this down
but even as you say that, our special teams has an opportunity versus them because they were not very good on special teams either. Yeah, so I think CeeDee Lamb punt return. He moonlights every now and then. So I expect a big one.
Okay. So are there any guys on special teams that you guys think need to step up and make some plays? It's one of those things that people don't pay attention to because they always go to commercial right after, right? It's just they just okay, return to the 20. Okay, go.
Well, something to watch beyond Greg Zuerlein. Obviously, he needs to have a better game. He knows that at the kicking spot. But what do they do? With Dorrance Armstrong, who's a core guy, who's going to probably start in this game. Cedric Wilson, who's practically a starter at the third receiver for Michael Gallup. Like, how do they divvy up those special team snaps? I think Ced only had 8 snaps on special teams, but that's something for Fossil. He's got to figure out,
Simi Fehoko.
All my guys. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure Simi's going to see some special team snaps, maybe a Zur Kamara, but he's been playing special teams, though.
Yeah.
So
Noah Brown's back, correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's a couple guys.
Good. That's important. That cannot be overlooked. Noah Brown's presence on this team, on special teams, cannot be overlooked.
Yeah, it's a big deal.
He is a core guy. He's not 1 out of 4 special teams guys. I am in there. Every time we're out there, I'm in there.
Mm-hmm.
And I think he has an impact in this game as well in terms of at the receiver position.
Got to find a way to get it done special teams wise. Let's take our break. When we come back, it's Say It With Your Chest Friday. It's time to do some game pick'ems. We'll see if Heckma can have a better week here in week 2 when we come back on the other side of the break.
Hi, I'm Clint Tillison with United Ag and Turf. Before you can park yourself in front of the game, park yourself in a John Deere and power through your chores. Our Land Run package is a 1025R, 25 horsepower tractor with a loader, rotary cutter, and a box blade for $229 a month. And the price you see is the price you'll pay, no surprises. So don't miss another kickoff.
Visit UnitedAgAndTurf.com. Offer ends February 1st, 2021. Restrictions apply. See dealer for details.
Now let's get to work.
The Cowboys way, where 16 Hall of Famers and 5 championships shows us what success looks like. Where turkey is always the second best part of Thanksgiving Day. Where we are all defined by one single thing, the star. Where we as fans know it's our job to keep the tradition going. Bank of America is proud to be the official bank of the Dallas Cowboys and to support the quest of living life the Cowboys way. Copyright 2020, Bank of America Corporation.
Want to use what the pros use? How about the official men's skincare brand of the Dallas Cowboys, Jack Black? Right now, you can get the Jack Black Starter, a curated collection of Cowboys locker room favorites for just $10 with free shipping. The starter includes 4 Jack Black skincare favorites, plus a full-sized intense therapy lip balm. Go to getjackblack.com/Cowboys and use the code word TEAMJB. That's getjackblack.com/Cowboys. The Jack Black Starter, $10, free shipping.
Honey, big news.
Gary, are you okay?
Oh, I'm not Gary anymore. I'm Jackie Flash.
What?
See, I want the latest smartphone, but the best deals are only for new customers. So, to get a new customer deal, I changed my name to Jackie Flash.
Okay, but the best smartphone deals at AT&T are for everyone, new and existing customers.
That's huge. Then guess who's getting a deal?
Is it Jackie Flash?
Jackie Flash.
It's not complicated. At AT&T, our best smartphone deals are for everyone. Restrictions apply. Visit att.com for details.
Back to Talking Cowboys.
Oh, yeah. Whether you're watching from home or you're cheering in the stands with Essilor lenses, you can see every exciting play. Book an appointment at your local Essilor experts and see what Essilor can do for you. See more, do more. Essilor on a Say It With Your Chest Friday on Talking Friday. Cowboys. Yeah, Frat Boy Friday.
That just happened.
Oh, goodness. All right.
It's so good when it touches the lips. So
Shall we hear the Week 1 results from the Talking Cowboys
Do it.
Pick'em standings?
Do it now.
We'll start at the bottom. Heckma Harrison went 1-5. He was 1-4 in the non-Cowboys game, and he picked the Cowboys. Sorry, Heckma. Rob Phillips went 1-4 in the non-Cowboys game.
Stop.
What's up?
God.
But you would make it seem as though Heckma is the. Never mind. I'm
Well,
sorry.
you're still the worst because he went 2-4 overall, and you went 1-5.
Fred Boy Friday.
I'm just, every time you throw a shot over here, I'm just going to throw one back.
Yeah. So, Aaron, can you mark that, please?
Yeah, please.
2-4 overall for Rob because he did pick the Buccaneers. Isaiah went 3-3. He went 2-3 in the non-Cowboys games, and then he picked the Cowboys to win. And I also went 3-3, 3-2 in the non-Cowboys, and I picked the Cowboys to win.
But you know you guys are going to be last once we all tally this up, right?
It is a marathon.
Let's chill.
Marathon, guys.
Let's figure it out.
You know what we have not talked about?
What is that?
You can't go 500 in the NFL anymore.
No, cannot.
Yeah, because it's 17 games.
Winners or
tie.
losers. Your winning record or your losing record.
Or you have a tie in there, and then you could go 8-8-1.
Yeah, somebody will do that.
Yeah, at some point. Somebody will have that happen.
Consider that, though.
All right, we've got some games to pick here.
49ers.
Let's start. Yeah, that's the first one, actually, I was going to talk about. The 49ers and the Eagles on Sunday, noon kickoff on Fox. We'll start with Heckma.
Where is it?
It's in Philadelphia.
I'm still going Niners. Boo Eagles.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll fill the Niners.
On the road?
Frisco.
Yeah, give me the 49ers as well. Philadelphia, 21-plus points in 11 straight games against San Francisco. Both 1-0 teams on CBS at noon. The Raiders and the Steelers. Rob, who you got? It's in
that's
Pittsburgh.
a good one.
It's a good, fun game.
Goodness gracious.
Steel curtain, baby. They look good in week 1.
Yeah, they did.
Raiders.
The Raiders.
Go on, Raiders.
I said, you said Ravens or Raiders?
Raiders.
Raiders
Versus Steelers.
Oh, Steelers. Sorry, I thought it was Ravens. I don't
okay.
know why Raiders came out of my mouth. But
Okay. So Steelers both on here.
I go Steelers.
I'm going to go Raiders. I liked what I saw week 1 with their offense overall.
Trust Derek Carr.
Yeah, but he had a good game, though.
Yeah, I just don't
Yeah. I cannot stand you. All right, Bills
Clip
and
that.
the Dolphins. This is in Miami. The Dolphins 1-0 after last week, and the Bills 0-1. Bills have won 5 straight games against Miami. This is the divisional.
5 straight.
5 straight. Isaiah?
Buffalo.
Do they rebound, Heckma?
Yeah.
Ooh, in Miami?
Mm-hmm.
Don't nobody be at those games.
I'm going.
Don't nobody be at them.
I go below on this.
Maybe
one.
this year. Okay.
Yeah, Buffalo.
Yeah, I'm going to take the Buffalo Bills there as well. We
got to change it up. We got all the same picks so far.
I know.
I got to catch up. I got to catch up.
Get back in it.
Okay,
Okay, Titans and the Seahawks in Seattle.
You can forget him.
Yeah,
Just
you
you
can
already
forget
know
Isaiah
who
on
he
this
got.
one. I'm going to say the Titans rebound. Isaiah, I'll go to you next.
We're going to fly on them. Seahawks.
All right.
Yeah.
Seahawks.
I knew you knew better.
Yeah. 12th man
It's
connection.
Russell freaking Wilson, Tyler Lockett, Metcalf. Come
But
on.
Tannehill is due.
Everett on the team
Tannehill
now.
is due. That running game is due. I'm going to take Seattle.
Ooh, well, that was a Lee Corso pick. All right, Chiefs and Ravens.
Who are you picking?
I already said that I was picking the Titans.
You picked the Titans?
Yes, I did. Goodness gracious, you were on another level today. Sunday Night Football, Chiefs and Ravens in Baltimore. Yeah, that's a fun one. Baltimore needs the rebound after their loss on Monday Night Football.
Ooh.
That's a good one, man.
Heckma.
Ooh.
That is tough.
It's not that tough.
It really is. Because Clark, Honey Badger.
Yeah, they lost Marcus Peters.
Did they?
Baltimore.
No.
ACL.
They've lost a lot of guys.
I'm going with the catch-up boys.
Got to get the Chiefs going. I'm going to pick the Chiefs as well.
I'm going with the $500 million man.
Patty.
Same.
Patty. Patrick Mahomes, 11-0, 35 passing touchdowns, no interceptions in his career in the month of December. Or excuse me, September.
We need some curveballs, Kyle. Come on.
Well, there's no more real curveballs. How about this one, though? Cowboys, Chargers, Sunday afternoon on CBS. Who's going first? Rob, you went last week in this one. Who you got?
I'm going with the Cowboys. I think it's going to be a game, maybe both teams get in the 30s. It's going to be back and forth, but there are question marks on the Cowboys defense because of injuries, because of absences potentially with Randy, but I just think there are some matchups for Dallas to take advantage. Dak Prescott's healthy. He's going to build off week one. They win.
Score.
Nice.
Like 33-31.
Close.
Ooh, good game.
Yeah.
All right. Isaiah?
What does that look? Come on.
It's a tough one. It really is a tough one. I'm going with them boys, 34-21.
34-21, so a little
34-21.
extra there.
A little extra.
Mike McCarthy has not been 0-2 as a head coach since 2006. That was his first year with the Green Bay Packers and his first year as a head coach in the NFL. He is not going 0-2 this year. I think the Cowboys win it, and I'm right around those same scores. I'm going to say 31-27. Cowboys get the win.
It's really pulling at me, though. The Chargers are, like, really tugging at my heart right now.
They're a good team.
They really are.
And if the Cowboys are
getting
0-2, it's not a surprise, I don't think. And it's because you're banged up and this is a team on the rise. You just can't afford to go 0-2.
Can I be real?
Yeah. Say it with your chest.
Come on.
I have to change.
Switch it.
I don't want to.
No, do it.
Do it.
I don't want the fan in me wants to pick the Cowboys,
This is a
but
tough game to pick, man.
my heart says the Chargers.
Okay.
And that would hurt. Because I like the Cowboys a lot.
Yeah.
But
The
my
label
heart
that
says
changes. Okay. I'm hoping for a clean call game from our coaches. Mike McCarthy, you coming up against a first-year coach, Brandon Staley. Let's get it done from a coaching standpoint. But I think everybody in the media is disrespecting Dak in this matchup with a second-year quarterback. And I'm telling you, I'm expecting Rain Dakota Prescott to stand back there in the pocket, look down the sniper scope, and get a peeky weeky at Amari Cooper running. Yes, peeky weeky, and just bomb right over the top.
Clip that.
That's what we doing. Peeky weeky. And I'm going with Dak and the boys.
No, you get in
I
here.
like it.
No, you get in here.
Darren is waving us the hell out of here.
All right,
I can't
that's
beat him.
gonna do
I
it
can't
for
beat him
us.
in nothing.
Yeah, can't do it at all. All right, for Chris Beam, Aaron Gonzalez in the back, for Rob Phillips, Isaiah Stanback, Heckma Harrison, I'm Kyle Yeomans. Heckma, what do we say on Fridays?
Cowboy Nation, I hope your team win.
This has been a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about this, Cowboys? Yeah!